I see love the way you move the body. I should use it.
Welcome to Guided Conversations, Episode 4. I'm your host, Ursula T. Mague. In today's episode, we're talking about something that sits at the heart of the South African experience: how we care for ourselves, how we find our purpose, and how we face tough realities while still holding on to possibility.
According to Stats SA, South Africa's youth, defined as individuals aged between 15 and 34 years, form a crucial demographic and make up nearly one-third of the population. They represent a dynamic generation navigating a rapidly evolving society influenced by the labor market, poverty, crime, and access to quality education. South Africa is home to the youngest population in the world, and that means energy, fresh ideas, and endless potential. But at the same time, many of our young people are carrying heavy burdens: unemployment, poverty, limited access to education, and the rising weight of mental health struggles. Some have even been called a lost generation. But I don't see this. What I see is resilience. Young people are refusing to sit on the sidelines anymore. They are using their voices, creating movements, breaking down complex issues online, holding leaders accountable, and pushing for change. Let's sit with this for a moment and unpack it together. Millions of young people are so discouraged, stuck without jobs, and some have even given up on searching because the system simply feels stacked against them. Others do find work, but the pay is too little, or the jobs just don't last, and that makes financial independence feel so far out of reach. And school is supposed to prepare us for the future, but too often the skills we learn don't match the jobs that exist. And behind all this is the quiet growing struggle with mental health. Stress, anxiety, hopelessness. So many young people carry it silently with little support. But here's the hopeful part. Organizations like Heal SA are stepping in, offering free one-on-one therapy, especially for young women, and the response has been powerful. Over half of young people tried therapy in 2023, and nearly half are continuing in 2025. And that tells us something big is happening. We're breaking the stigma. We're learning it's okay to say, I need help. And beyond therapy, wellness and survival are also being redefined through work itself. The truth is, young people aren't just waiting for opportunities, they're creating them. Welcome to the side hustle economy. From fashion resale to TikTok consulting, from street corners to working spaces, Gen Z and millennials are building micro brands that matter. Small businesses, yes, but with the power to transform lives, uplift economies, and even reshape the national economy. And wellness is not just about mental health, it's also about movement, community, and empowerment. Research shows that younger Black women are embracing fitness not just as punishment, but as a celebration of strength. Exercise is becoming a tool for healing. For many, gyms and fitness spaces are now places of empowerment.
I want to pose a question. What's one small step that you can take this week, whether it be walking, journaling, calling someone you trust, or even just resting, that will serve your mental or physical well-being?
And this brings us into the next part of our conversation. If segment 1 was about mindful wellness, choosing to live more than just in survival mode, then segment 2 is about the bigger picture, our shared future. How do we as young people rewrite the systems that hold us back? How do we turn resilience into real, lasting change? let's get into it. Now that we've grounded ourselves in wellness, let's shift into something just as important: purpose. For many young South Africans, jobs are scarce. But here's the thing: purpose is not the same as employment. Too often, we tie our sense of belonging to a job title, a paycheck, or climbing the career ladder. But purpose is bigger than that. It's about how you live your life, not just how you earn your income. And across the country, young people are redefining this every single day. Some are thrifting clothes on Instagram, others are selling food from their homes, freelancing online, or running small digital businesses. Some are teaching themselves new skills through YouTube, while others are mentoring younger students or volunteering in their communities. These might seem like small steps, but they matter. They are acts of agency, ways of saying, I refuse to be defined by unemployment statistics. Experts remind us that purpose isn't something we wait for, it's something we cultivate every single day. It shows up in our routines, in our relationships, in the ways we create, give, and connect. And when we expand our definition of purpose, we prepare ourselves to seize opportunities when they come. It's about choosing to see your life as meaningful, even when society tells you otherwise. So here's a question for you. If purpose is more than your job, what's one way you found meaning in your life outside of work? Maybe it's through creating something, helping someone, or simply showing up in a way that matters to you. Because purpose isn't about waiting for the perfect opportunity. No, it's about living with intention right where you are.
I've taken a slight detour. I just feel like a sweet treat. Okay, now we can continue our walk. I don't know if you guys can hear the birds chirping. Can you? And this is literally all that I need. A good book, the sound of birds, and a cup of tea.
As we hold on to this idea of purpose beyond employment, it's important to zoom out even further, to look at the systems shaping the reality of young people in South Africa today. South Africa's youth unemployment crisis is one of the most severe in the world. Nearly half of young people aged between 15 to 34 are unemployed. And for those between 15 and 24, the numbers are even more devastating. This isn't just about numbers. These are real lives. It's graduates being turned away for lack of experience. It's school leavers who never even get the chance to build skills. And despite government initiatives, millions have even given up hope, stopping their job search altogether.
Job applications, all the emails, all the interviews. I am tired of all of that, honestly. Today is the 1st of August 2025 and I have officially given up.
Experts remind us this isn't simply about individual effort. It's a systematic issue shaped by our history, by deep inequality, and by a mismatch between the skills we're taught and the jobs that are actually available.
We are talking today and we are saying that there's something wrong with civil society. There's civil society that's not holding leaders accountable. How do you blame the victim that's been left out of the system? It is this system that was never designed to include our people that we are now saying our people are not participating in it. For me, the system is wrong. We need to start from the beginning. How we started what we call this democracy was wrong, and it's not going to work because it was designed for 5 people. And today, if you look at it, it's still open for just those few people. There are few black people who have entered the workplace. There are few black people who have entered politics. There are few black people who are deciding and making these policies. For as long as we exclude our people, we cannot expect them to do anything else but be disengaged.
The system is wrong.
If you go on LinkedIn and you look at some of these job posts, hello, what is a editor slash graphic designer slash motion graphics designer? What is a marketing coordinator slash video editor? What is that? What is that? What is that? It's a desperate attempt to save costs. That's what it is. But the disrespect is the fact that these are separate qualifications, separate degrees, that you're so desperately trying to cram into one thing. And it's not one thing. It's really annoying. And these people who are posting these jobs need to be called out. Because at the core of it, it's having a lack of respect for what we do, not understanding what we do, not bothering to understand what we do, not bothering to research all of the qualifications that are needed for specific roles. There is no way that I can be an editor and a motion graphics designer at the same time.
We need education pathways that are relevant, mentorship that doesn't just teach skills but builds confidence, platforms that open doors for entrepreneurs, as well as freelancing and digital work. But here's the connect back to where it started. Wellness and purpose are our anchors. Wellness doesn't erase unemployment. Purpose doesn't magically create jobs, but together they give us strength and direction while we push for systematic change. Wellness is how we survive today. Purpose is how we prepare for tomorrow, and together they make us resilient in the face of uncertainty.
Because let's be honest, the story of South Africa's youth is not a story of struggle. It's a story of possibility, resilience, and a generation that just simply refuses to be lost.
Thank you for joining me in today's guided conversation. If this sparked something in you, share your thoughts. Start a conversation with a friend or even drop me a message. Because when we share our stories and ideas, I think that's when real change begins. Until next time, take care of your wellness, live with purpose, and remember, you are part of the future we are building together.